Welcome to Campus Sport, and this month we focus on the World University Triathlon Championships in Brasilia. In part 2, we'll take a look at the university in Brasilia and at the first University World Championship in American football in Sweden. And finally, one of the great icons of university sport, the Olympic champion Gabriela Szabo, now the Romanian Minister of Sport. Brasilia, in the heart of Brazil, founded in April 1960 to serve as the new national capital. And now it's the venue for one of the disciplines in the 12th World University Championships, run by FISU, the International Federation of University Sports. Some 50 athletes from 12 countries are here to compete in this, the first test event for the Summer Universiade to be held in Brasilia in 2019. It's triathlon, which became part of the University Championships program back in 1992. The race to be held around the Paranoa Lake and over the JK Bridge.
It's good and special to be here and represent our country and our university as well.
The Brazilians under pressure with the championships taking place at home. It's a project that we've worked on for quite a while. I'm happy enough because it's taking place in my city, in Brasilia. I think it's going to be a wonderful championship. Course that I already know, and I think we've got a good chance of getting some good results as well. A chance for the students to get to know each other from other parts of the world.
All the countries are in the same hotel. Normally it's very divided before a competition, so you don't see lots of the other people. Here you see a lot.
The triathlon races will be run in accordance with the rules of the International Triathlon Union, the ITU. There's no specific word for it. It's a special atmosphere to be here as part of the university selection, to be able to represent my friends from university. The women's race started with a 1,500-meter swim. It'll be followed by a 40-kilometer cycle ride, and then a 10-kilometer run, the Olympic format.
Well, I don't have a special plan, so I have to be present every day at school, but I train with a good coach, so that's helped me.
The swimming discipline is headed by Heather Sellers from Great Britain. But now for the bikes, in temperatures of around 28 degrees Celsius.
A sport career must end at some point, and I really want to continue to leave my studies after that, so work somewhere and stuff like this.
Approaching the JK Bridge, the battle at its most intense, with 40 kilometers to go.
Triathlon is very hard sport, and then it's related to lessons and training balance. It's important, I think. And then my university is helping to me.
First into the transition after the bike ride, Hungarian and American girls.
I study law in Budapest at the university, and yes, it's very hard to study and do the triathlon as well because of the trainings and the training camps, but they help me a lot, especially the teachers are very kind.
Sofia Kovac leading the race now, the law student from Budapest University. This race is a second University World Championship.
I raced in Turkey a few years ago. That I didn't do very well there, but this time I did well.
And Sofia wins with a time of 2 hours, 16 minutes and 4 seconds. Heather Sellers of Britain second, Caitlin Donner of the USA third. In the men's race, 32 competitors enjoying the chance of racing against students from all around the globe, as the world's universities seek to increase the international links between students. The favorites here are 3 Americans.
University is a very fun time for me, because we get to meet a lot of people from different countries and different places in Singapore. Yeah, so it's very fun.
Marcus Fernandes from Brazil leads the swim, going into the transition ready to ride in very, very hot weather.
I can do less subjects and do the other subjects next year, so it's easier to combine the study with the sport.
The silver medalist at the 2010 Youth Olympics, Kevin McDowell. This, his first competition after successfully battling cancer.
A couple of years ago, I was diagnosed I had cancer. And so it took me a while to go through all that, and I didn't know if I'd ever come back to triathlon. And then I went through chemo for 6 months and then made it back. And then it was just a long process to get my health back and my body to recover from all that treatment because I was very sick. The university was great, because I finished my last treatment actually my first week of college that I started. So I talked to all my professors, and my professors worked with me. This was probably the toughest course I've ever done in my life. It just, with that, the swim was tough, then the heat and the bike was the hill. And then I even think the run was just as hard because with the heat and the humidity here, and then there was a big climb and downhill on the run, and it was just overall probably a huge strength course, and I had to be very tactical out there. It's a big battle, but it's well worth it at the end.
Kevin McDowell, the winner, followed by Thomas Renck of the Czech Republic and Chris Brandon of the USA. The next edition, by the way, of the triathlon, Switzerland in 2016. Coming next on Campus Sport, we take a look at Brasilia University, where the students are training for the Universiade of 2019. Also on the way, the American Football Championships. And we meet the Olympic champion, Gabriela Szabo.
Today's stars, tomorrow's leaders.
The University of Brasilia was founded in 1961, situated in the heart of the city. Professor Darte Ribeiro was one of its most enthusiastic supporters and became its first chancellor. The architect Oscar Niemeyer designed its main building, the Central Institute of Sciences. With a multiracial intake, the university has always looked at sport almost as a way of life for the students. And with its Olympic complex, the university enjoys a unique place for training on the banks of the Paranoá Lake. For me, sport is a crucial part of education. It's a means of helping integration. And I'm not talking about sports at a professional level, but about sport in general. Brazilians play a lot of sports. They love sports. And the facilities here are appropriate for the whole academic community. Yes, sport is part of the Brazilian DNA, and the upcoming events in the country will leave an important legacy.
E o Brasil, ele tem agora como país que agora está disposto.
Brazil's looking ahead to a lot of huge sporting events. We have the World Cup in football in 2014, the Olympic Games in 2016, and the Universiade in 2019. So this is crucial for the continuity of sports in Brasilia and also for the whole country, and maybe even for universities abroad.
Brasil tem local de destaque no grandes eventos esportivos universitários mundiais.
You can hear the sounds of capoeira all around the campus. You can feel its emotion, its color and energy among the young people. The University of Brasilia has really taken measures to distribute scholarships to student athletes. We wanted to give value to our athletic programs and the students involved so that they could continue practicing their sport. Last year, those programs included 100 scholarships. The year before, it was 188. And today, we have about 280 student athletes with scholarships out of 320 student athletes in total. The university possesses a top-class swimming complex. It'll be the venue for the diving, swimming and water polo competitions during the 2019 Universiade. I'm a student athlete at the university, and I've received a scholarship. That helps me a lot, because I can continue to practice my sport to its full extent, which would otherwise be too expensive for me.
Tendo essa capacidade de levar o estudo junto ao esporte.
Those scholarships are determined by the good results in sport and in academic performance. Thanks to my scholarship, I can pay for my food. I can pay for equipment like shoes and clothing. If I get injured, the scholarship can cover the cost for physiotherapy. And it pays for public transport, so there's no doubt for us athletes, these scholarship programs are very important. They really do help us an awful lot. It's in the university that we found one of the most popular sportsmen in Brazil, Hugo Parisi, the university athlete who's taken part in the Olympic Games and 2 editions of the Summer Universiade.
Hoje eu sou graduado em propaganda e marketing.
I graduated from the university as a student athlete with a degree in marketing. During my career, studies were always important for me. It was always a parallel path between training and studying. And today, I'm here at the University of Brasilia, coaching the young divers. Yeah, I might have graduated, but I can still be here.
Mas tenho a felicidade de poder continuar dentro da universidade.
Muito bem a coordenação, aqui está preto.
Taking students to a high standard of sport requires good coaching staff, and that provides opportunity. Opportunity for men like Ricardo Moreira. At this university, we have many athletes who've taken part in the Olympics and the Universiades. I've been privileged to take part in 4 of those university games, where the competition was of a very high standard, almost as high as the Olympics. And, working inside the university to prepare athletes for these competitions, it really is a dream job for me. As for the future, Brasilia University is well aware that it lies with today's school kids and students, and the doors are open to them to grow and blossom into athletes of confidence and character.
The C, the 2, the C.
Uppsala, a fine city in Sweden, the 4th largest city in the country, and now the host city for the very first World University Championship in American football. There are 5 teams in the competition: China, Finland, Sweden, Mexico, and Japan. Each team has up to 68 players on their roster, although they can use only 45 during a game. When it came to the sharp end, it was Sweden and Finland playing for the bronze, and as always, a classic rivalry. When the 2 neighboring countries meet in sport, the outcome is never easy to predict. And now it was all or nothing. The winner of this game would get the bronze medal in this first ever World University Championship in American football. Team Finland started the game on offense and put up a long drive from deep within their own territory. Sweden played very aggressively on defense right from the start, and when Finland had only yards to go to the end zone, it was Henrik Nilsson who forced the fumble, and Sweden took control of the ball. With a lead of 28-6, the head coach Leo Billgren chose to give the backup quarterback Joachim Nilsson some playing time. Unfortunately, his first drive ended in a punt. But try as they might, Finland failed to get the ball into the end zone, and Sweden, using home advantage to the full, took the win. The score 28-6. So to the gold medal match. Japan against Mexico. An historic day in more ways than one this. Not only would the World University Champions be crowned, but it would also be the first defeat for one of these teams, since they both got to the championship game on 3 straight wins. Well, neither team could get their offense going, both forced to punt the ball away several times. Then with a minute to go in the first quarter, Team Mexico tried to kick a field goal from Japan's 20-yard line, but it was wide of the posts, so still no score. In the second quarter, eventually Mexico put up a long drive from deep within their own territory, starting with a long rushing play by Juan Lopez and ending with a 10-yard rushing touchdown by Alberto Lopez. So 7 points to Mexico after an 80-yard drive by half-time. In the second half, the teams played at their best, and it was hard fought, with Japan piling on their share of pressure, picking up 6 points in the third quarter. And so they were going to the last, the teams just 1 point apart. But it was the Mexicans who produced the decisive play, and they would be the team to celebrate as the first ever winners of an American football competition in the World University Championships. 14-6 the final score. A truly great result for Mexico, especially as the next edition of this new FISU Championship will be held in Mexico in the city of Monterrey. You're watching Campus Sport, and still to come, one of the great sporting legends, Gabriele Szabo.
Today's stars, tomorrow's leaders.
When she was a little girl in Romania, she flirted with gymnastics and swimming. But when it appeared that she might not make it to the top, she switched to track and field. Her name? Gabriele Szabo, one of the great names to make her way to the top via the University Games. She was a star on the Universiade Athletics track in 1995 when she won double gold in Fukuoka in the 1500 and 5,000 meters. Gold again in the 1500 in Sicily in 97. She won Olympic silver in 96, and in Sydney 4 years later, she took gold in the 5,000 and bronze in the 1500. She was also a triple world champion, and her latest role, in March she became Romania's Minister of Youth and Sport.
Trebuie să recunosc că și pentru mine a fost o surpriză.
Do you know, I have to admit that having been nominated as a minister was a surprise for me. Once I'd finished my career as an athlete in 2004, I realized that I was tired and that my body and spirit weren't able to carry on at a high level. It was a surprise for everybody because it was a sudden decision, so no one was really expecting it. I didn't feel like attending another Olympic Games, though. I'd rather prefer people have a good memory of me, such as Gabi Szabo on the podium. I decided to pursue my studies and stay in the academic world. I studied physical and sports education for 7 years, and I finished my PhD in 2010. It's a lifetime experience, and I hope I'll be able to help in the sports world in Romania with it. Sabo's first Universiade was in Japan. It was quite an experience because it was the first time she'd ever taken part in a high-class competition.
Eu am avut o relație foarte bună cu Federația Internațională.
I've had a very good relationship with FISU.
Și în zilele astea,
And even today, I still maintain contact with everything that happens in the students' lives.
studenții. Am o relație de prietenie cu ei și
We've established a friendship among each other.
încurajez pe fiecare sportiv.
And I encourage every athlete to take part and to qualify for the Universiade.
La campionatele mondiale universitare.
Back in 1995 in Fukuoka, Sabo's talent was instantly clear, making everybody sit up and notice. She was light on her feet and capable of accelerating away just when she wanted to.
În 1994 am intrat la
I started studying in 1994 in the University for Physical and Sports Education in Cluj-Napoca from the Babes University. And I was chosen to participate in the Summer Universiade due to the results that I produced up to that moment. I was part of the Romanian team for the Fukuoka Universiade. It really was a great experience, and it struck me how many other students were there to take part and to win. What was also great about it, of course, is that I went back home with 2 medals. I'm very happy.
Câștigată pe distanța de 1500 de metri, cealaltă la 5000 și m-a bucurat enorm.
At the age of 19, she became the youngest world indoor champion in history, winning the 3,000 meters. And Sabo would continue to surprise everybody in the world of athletics.
Acum vorbim de 1997 când
In 1997, I won the World Championship, but I also insisted on taking part in the Summer Universiade in Sicily, where I ran the 1,500 meters. At that moment, however, the championship title belonged to Sacramento from Portugal.
am alergat 1500 de metri, dar la momentul respectiv campioana mondială.
I couldn't believe that I'd won that Summer Universiade and that I'd won against the title holder. It really was a happy moment for me, a great moment for my sporting career as well.
Campionatul mondial universitar în fața campioanei mondiale în titlu de la acel moment. Și a fost o mare bucurie, nu numai pentru mine, dar și pentru cariera mea ca sportivă.
Now, as Romania's Minister for Youth and Sport, Gabi Sabo insists on the importance of physical education. And she wants to be closely involved to motivate the students to practice sport.
Cel puțin în cazul meu am avut o foarte mare înțelegere.
I never neglected my education. My teachers were really understanding. I realized that education was very important as high-performance sport.
Am conștientizat că educația este la fel de importantă ca și sportul de masă.
However, I can't really say that I was a privileged person and in a privileged position when the exams came. I passed my exams like any other student, but I did study for them hard.
La fel ca orice alt student, dar învățam.
Sabo's sense of humanity has drawn her close to the students and to the Romanian people in general.
Mesajul meu este unul extrem de simplu. Tot ceea ce faci trebuie să o faci cu foarte mare pasiune.
My motto is, everything we do, we have to do with passion. We have to find the necessary motivation to move forward without ever giving up. Everything we do, we have to be passionate about and devote ourselves to it. That's how I've accomplished things in life.
Trebuie să ne caracterizeze pe noi sportivii, fie că suntem studenți, fie că suntem sportivi profesioniști, dar tot ceea ce facem trebuie să facem cu foarte drag.
I've always done things with all my heart and a lot of passion.
Repet, pasiunea.
Otherwise, things simply won't work.
Foarte mare drag. În tot ceea ce am făcut am.
It's also important to dream of being the best at a certain point.
Altfel lucrurile nu ies.
Having said that, of course it depends entirely on yourself and the team that supports you. Because you are born with a talent, but the people that stand behind you also hold the key in this equation.
Dar oamenii care stau în spatele talentului nostru sunt cheia în toată ecuația.
Gabriela Sabo is a woman of contrasts, with a mixture of elegance and an inner strength that makes her an icon in the world of athletics. FISU's slogan, "Today's stars, tomorrow's leaders," is not an idle catchphrase. Sometimes, former student athletes who competed in FISU's major sporting events reach not only the pinnacle in their sport, they go beyond and become leaders in society, like Gabriela Szabo. And that was Campus Sport. Until next time.
So goodbye.
Today's stars, tomorrow's leaders.